So today we focus our attention to this wonderful concept in HR called emotional intelligence. And as you see that heart in the middle of a brain there, it tells us something. It tells us that if you can understand how someone feels, you can understand how they work. So if you understand their heart, you understand their mind, or vice versa. And once you understand someone better, you get along and you get more done. And that's what emotional intelligence tells us. That as a manager, there are certain ways that you need to deal with your workers. Don't always be a boss. Don't always give orders. Take feedback. Humans, as we know, we are a complex being, and we feel a wide variety of emotions, right? I mean, sometimes we are just super joyful, right? This little guy here. Sometimes we're angry. Sometimes we're just purple and blue. Sometimes we are, I guess, afraid. So humans will go through variety of emotions. And since HR and labor is all about the human side of things, you cannot forget the soft side of people. The way they feel, having the right mindset, making sure that you have everything ready to have a great day. That sort of environment is created and is directed by a manager. A manager will be in a position to make sure the whole team feels good about being in that position and is geared towards working towards the overall corporate objectives. And that's what emotional intelligence tells us, that a manager needs to look beyond just themselves. And more importantly, they need to look beyond their objectives, beyond the objectives of the employees. Because at the end of the day, they are humans. So you have to have that softness in your approach. And Mr. Daniel Goleman is the theorist that you will have to remember for emotional intelligence. Okay? Now, Daniel Goleman said that a manager, and generally what emotional intelligence is, that a manager needs to understand their own emotion. Okay? If you're angry, accept it. Don't be in denial. Understand how you're feeling at the moment. And then also take the time to understand the emotions of the people that you're working with. If you have a subordinate team member who's not having such a good day, take care in understanding how they're feeling, why they're feeling that way, and as a manager, as a leader, try to help them manage their emotions more efficiently. The same way you would manage your own emotions, make sure you understand the emotions of people who are working with you. Think of the figure of speech which says, be in someone else's shoes, or walk in my shoes for a mile and you will know. And that's really what emotional intelligence is telling us, that before giving instructions to your workers, look at that instruction from their perspective, from their point of view. And once you understand their side of it, you'll be able to communicate with your team much better. So it's all about control and management of emotions, not just for the manager himself, but also for the team around them. Now, at this point, we will introduce the second theorist in this chapter by the name of Mr. Daniel Goleman. Okay. Now, Daniel Goleman is one of the authorities in all things related to leadership and competencies and such things. And him, along with another guy named Richard, forgive me for saying your name wrong, Richard Boyadziz. These two gentlemen decided to write or have their say on what emotional intelligence means for managers specifically. And they do that by dividing the emotional intelligence topic into two very distinct sides. And they say that all managers have to have two sides to have the control over the emotions. One side is the inward approach. This is where the manager will be looking at himself. How is he doing? How is he behaving? Such things. At the same time, as we discussed in the last slide, that no, the managers are not going to be working alone. Of course, they're called managers because they are managing people. So there's a social element to that as well. There's going to be people who will look to you for objectives, people who look to you for guidance, and of course appraisals, so that your own promotions and salaries could be decided. So you're going to be dealing with people at every level.
Quick pause. If you're finding value in this explanation, there's so much more to discover. At Alt Academy, we break down every A-level concept with the same level of clarity. Now, let's continue.
And emotional intelligence dictates that you must maintain a control over your own emotions, and of course understand what the people around you are feeling. So when you look at yourself, there's two sides to it. Okay? He calls these his four competencies. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hence the term four competencies. And he says that it all starts with a manager looking inwards to first be aware of exactly what he's feeling. Okay, have control over your impulse feelings, manage your emotions in a healthy way, in a more positive way. um, Show your strengths, make commitments. So be aware of exactly what your behavior is, how you're feeling, angry, joyful, things like that. It starts with understanding and accepting first. And once you're aware of how you're feeling, make sure that you understand that your behavior will have an impact on everyone around you. So know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and make sure whatever you're doing, you have confidence in all of that. We call that self management. So, inward approach self, where you're looking to first identify and then control your emotions. The other aspect of course, a manager is to take care of the team that he's been assigned. And that's where the social side comes in. And it's easy to remember these four competencies because there's two sides, social and self, and they both have awareness and management within it. So, self awareness, self management, the first two competencies, social awareness and social management, the third and fourth competencies. Okay, now competencies, the word competency means quality or ability. So that's what we are discussing, the ability to understand emotions. And when we talk about social awareness, it's all about being making sure that you're being a mentor for people around you. You pick up little emotional cues in the group, that if someone's feeling uncomfortable, someone needs some motivation, someone needs a pat on the back, someone is going through some problems. So show empathy, be open to what others might have to say and contribute to the whole situation. And once you're aware of it, you'll be able to better manage this relationship that you have with your team. You can communicate clearly, you can be inspirational, you can be influential, you can coach, you can mentor, you can be a leader, you can be the guy who is resolving conflicts for the entire team. So that stage will only come once you've gone through understanding your own self and understanding everyone within your team, and then trying to bring them all together to work towards a common goal. So that's what Mr. Goleman really summed up within emotional intelligence, that it's not one-sided, it will be two-sided, because as a manager, you're in a position to affect change in the worker's ability to be more efficient, change in the ability of the company to achieve more. And that's where the soft side of business, the HR side, must never be forgotten, which is what emotional intelligence tells us. Once all managers buy into the idea of emotional intelligence, the benefits from it are really there to be seen throughout the organization, because once it has an impact on individual employees, it's those individual employees that make up the departments and then eventually the business. So it all adds up very nicely when everyone's on the same frequency, believing in the idea, one for all for one, let's work together towards the common goal. And what you see coming out of emotional intelligence, what the managers manage to bring about in the workers, is definitely an increased team performance. Okay, once you understand everybody's emotions and making sure that you're assigning work to them based on their capacity and their current situation, everyone would want to do their best because you have been understanding in your capacity. Yeah, of course, it's when the stress levels are down, when the boss is not so pushy, you feel a little more motivated to work. Your decision making is better because you're working with a clear head. It also increases your ability to be a leader. You're working for everyone. You're not discriminating between one employee or another. So you are truly becoming a transformational leader. Yeah, of course, it also means that you're keeping a balance. You're also in check of your own emotions, so your own personal well-being will also benefit from it. And if anyone was not happy with your situation, if you show more emotional intelligence, it will, of course, discourage them from leaving the organization, which means the labor turnover will reduce. Labor turnover is a measure which tells us how many people were leaving an organization in a particular period. So, if labor turnover goes down, that means that fewer people have left the organization in that period. That could only mean a more motivated workforce. So, all of this is seen across the entire workforce, and the entire company benefits as a result of practicing emotional intelligence.
Now that that's taken care of, head on over to altacademy.org to watch the rest of our A-Levels business videos. Over 60,000 students have already taken the leap. What are you waiting for?